I want to bring in Lynette Lopez, columnist for Business Insider, who has been covering the president's trade actions. Evan Siegfried is a Republican strategist who has his own concerns about the possible tariffs. So, Lynette, President Trump, you heard him there, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. I think on Tuesday on London, he was talking tough in the morning. By the afternoon, he said he thinks it will probably be resolved. It's a minor dispute. Does anybody really know what he's thinking about this?
It's unclear, as it is with anything in the Trump administration. It sounds like it's going to happen. And it sounds like President Trump is very offended by these tech taxes that are taking the world by storm. Canada's considering it. Italy's considering it. And he wants to punish these countries who are taxing what he considers our companies, and thinks that, no one can beat up my little brother except for me, is kind of his attitude about Google and Facebook.
Yeah. And Evan, you wrote a new piece for NBC thing titled Trump's Tariffs Are Coming to a Store Near You. It turns out Mexico won't pay for those either. You add, despite what the president said, other countries don't pay the tariffs he imposes. Americans do. There is no way for a business to pass on to not pass on 100% tariff, right? The prices have to go up. You don't eat 100% tariff.
Prices will go up, and American jobs will suffer. Because think of all the jobs for all the companies, be they shipping to get these particular products to whatever destination. It's going to impact us all across the country.
It's a direct attack on my way of life.
Yes, you like French clothes, I like French wine. But look at some of the other goods. There are durable goods that have been put in there. So it's not just luxury items that are getting tariffs slapped on them. We've seen the tariffs against Chinese goods. The one that went into effect in September was a 15% tariff. Now, the American family is going to pay anywhere from $460 to $970 more a year in buying just regular staple products. And that hurts the economy, and that also doesn't allow us to go out and take vacations or to put away money for saving or pay off student debt. It's the president, when he goes out and brags about when we are having these tariffs, we've got billions of dollars coming in. No, that's a shadow tax on Americans. He's taxing Americans more, and the Republican Party has been always anti-tariff until now.
So is China and the tariffs on China an example of what we could be looking at here?
Yeah, I mean, the steel tariffs are an example of what we're looking at, and what he was planning on doing to Brazil and Argentina. The Trump administration is now intending to spread this China tariff situation all over the world. So Trump really doesn't have anyone in the White House right now who is telling him to calm down. There's no Gary Cohn. There's no one to say, hey, think of the fundamentals of the U.S. economy and what we know as the Republican Party. All of that is gone. So now it's just Trump's base instinct, which is to slap his enemies, frenemies, and friends.
Yeah, and his approach always seemed to be, Evan, to make people afraid, right? He was going to be the strong leader. Now you had London, where they were literally laughing at him. Do you have any doubt that if President Trump decides he's going to do major tariffs on our allies, that they're just going to sit back and take it?
No, they're going to hit it back, and a trade war is just going to go, and it's going to become cyclical.
And they're not scared. Like Boris Johnson has already said, he plans on going through with his tech tax, no matter what the Trump administration
says. And the problem is, there are issues that President Trump raises of unfairness that need to be dealt with, but there are other avenues to deal with it. Where you have President Trump talking about Brazil this week when he tweeted out Brazil and Argentina devaluing their currency and hurting American farmers. At the same time, President Trump is going and giving bailouts to some of these foreign-owned farmers from Brazil that are meant for the American farmer.
And
it's very
quick. Take, for example, there are ways to do this correctly through the WTO, which we have done with France for their subsidies of Airbus. We won that ruling, and we often win rulings with the WTO. So this is not necessary.
Lynette Lopez, Evan Siegfried, important and interesting conversation, and worrisome as we head into the brief season of holiday parties.
I know.